Welcome back, everybody, to the next game. It'll be the Gnomes versus Global Breakout, a game that we've seen in the past be one of the closest ones. I am Melvin of Man, and this is Don Boy doing his very first cast with me today. I am excited to cast with you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited for this match. I think this match is going to be a great match to see. I'm very excited to see the outcome, and I think both teams have a very strong footing in this match. So it'll be
So,
exciting.
who do you think is gonna win? Because I
Um,
have to do my duty as a trader to say GB won't win. That's just I have to do that. It's in my contract.
you know, honestly, I think it's gonna. I think GB's gonna take it really. It's not like I don't like Gnomes or don't think they're a good team. It's just I've seen what GB can do. I've seen their players in action, and I know they're very good at the game. It's what they do for a living. So you know they can. I think they could take it home.
Gnomes is also I know last major they were the first to kind of knock GB into the into the losers bracket after a double overtime game, and ultimately fell into a double overtime game in the finals. Not finals, I believe semifinals. Um, and it was a one of the closest games I have watched and casted, and this is going to be a good game. This is like the best first game to cast on,
Hmm.
because of just how close this could end up being. Uh, I would like Gnomes to win. I've got six on there. One of, uh, I wouldn't, not close friend, but just someone that I enjoy playing the game with, and getting to see him perform is pretty awesome. And I just want to root for my buddies. But that being said, I know, as you said, GB is just a fantastic team.
Hmm.
Pretty much anything you can do, they can do better type deal. Um, So that's why I'm hoping this is going to be close. This could go either way. This could be a tie. This could be a 7-5. I think it's either going to be a 7-5 or a tie. I don't think this is going to be a blowout.
Hmm. That
It's
would
just
definitely
who does
surprise
it.
me. Yeah, which side it falls to. It'll be
Oh,
it'll be interesting to see. It's really all I can say.
we're still waiting on them to queue up, so we get to be awkward for just a little bit longer.
How far?
Um, I'm very good at doing that. Um, so something that we see a lot of is, and something I'm excited to see. I'm always excited to see either Plebdo or Kazo mopping, seeing how they perform, and then we also see Argo usually doing the close range, uh, rushing aggressiveness, and usually it works. Usually, if Argo is able to do what he is able to do, in terms of rushing with the auto shotty or the knack, he can wipe almost pretty much most of the enemy team before the round even starts.
Yeah, he's kind of famous for his runouts. Can be very aggressive if he wants to. Really, all of GB has their own kind of personalities that people in the community know. It's very interesting to see.
Oh, we get to not be awkward anymore. We can go into the match.
Yeah.
So look. I'm not as colorful as a starter as Echo or Fellow. I'm gonna warn you now, chat. We are going to be awkward, and you are going to like it. There is no choice. This is happening. We're all a part of this. It's gonna be great. I
Yeah.
hope.
Don't expect too much from me. It's my first time. You might even get to hear a voice crack.
Is that what you tell the ladies as well? Just, hey, there may be a voice crack, please. Please just don't just let it at just
Don't
don't
laugh in
yell
my
at me.
face, please.
Yeah, please. So we get to start on Bank, but not all of the gnomes got to join. It is a 4v5, and I am unsure of what is happening.
Hmm. Ooh,
If one is doing a late join, or if this
maybe there's a
is
connection
going.
error.
I hope so, but we're paused. But for the meantime, we get to kind of see what's going on here. We get to see kind of the first map they'll be going into. This could be a restart. We're not sure. We're gonna update you as we get some info. But for right now, we're seeing a bank set that I like playing on. I am a
Mhm.
vault goblin, as a lot of people know. I like playing in the vault. So having that barbed wire there, getting ready for the uh, uh, Molotov to be thrown kind of in that vault area is pretty good. We've got a gravy moment being prepped
Trust me.
over. Just trust source, dude. Just trust me.
What is happening?
I
Just
can.
some
Can we
inside
talk?
information.
Can we talk to the devs? So we've got our fifth back. Can we talk to the devs to actually have like a shirt that just
Scooge.
says "Trust me" and it just
Oh,
has the auto shotty?
it's a knife, I guess.
Everyone's just drawn Among Us.
It's interesting. I think on bank is a lot of times when you can choose to either defend button or vault or kind of do in between. Looks like on this map they might be going for more of a vault hold, kind of give them a little bit more button control. But they also might hold Teller aggressively, so it'll be interesting to see if they like which side they choose to play on.
And usually, uh, I could be wrong, but what the way that I usually kind of play on button and vault hold is if it's a double door vault, just forget the button, hold the vault because double
Hmm.
doors are kind of easy. I think easier to hold once they're open. Uh, you don't really have someone playing inside vault, like, waiting on a double vault because they could come from any direction and you're a man down. But here, where they have to funnel in, I think it's okay. Um, but if they decide to attack entrance and they're doing like a button hold on this right side and no one goes into loans, then the button hold is gonna prove to be pretty strong. But it seems that they want to use two door charges immediately.
Yeah, what? That's not something you'd usually see, especially on the first round. Two charges, two door charges. I mean, it's better than using a door and a wall. But wow, very aggressive right off the bat.
Unless Unless that's just, for fun, for the lulls, as they say. Um, I think it is because they've removed
Yeah,
it.
they
But
deserve it.
Argo is got the auto shotty. I'm a firm believer the auto shotty does not belong in the vault, mainly because a flashbang kills you. But Sachi is going to drop two Molotovs for Argo in the vault, and now we watch as Global Breakout begin their defense and the Gnomes begin their attack.
Yeah, is they put three mollies in vault. That's like 20 seconds at least. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be on the attackers to really be quick to get into vault. They're gonna have to wait through that.
The door charge is gonna go off in entrance. Some casual stalling, only for them to maybe realize once they get in, no Global Breakout members are even close. So they're
Yeah, no
gonna
molly on that
flashbang in.
door. It's unexpected. I bet they were expecting a molly there. Expecting
Expecting
to be
some
pushing.
form of resistance, but they're probably like, where are they? As the shots exchange from Akazo and Loans onto Index and Scooge. Scooge is going to take some of the shots. Akazo escapes just a little bit of damage. Shots coming up from Muse in the bathroom with the knack as more shots are exchanged, and Scooge is going to drop from Akazo and Loans, and now they've got a situation. Six getting ready to peek him with a
Mhm.
saber. A shot will connect, and Akazo says, that's fine. You guys can have it.
Looks like Muse getting a little anxious. He's run to accounting. Doesn't want to be stuck in that bathroom. He's not gonna get wall banged, but it's pretty risky. He can get flashed out pretty easily there. Okay.
Flashbang for Loans to get Akazo out of there, but he's already long gone, and Nog is already in security and kind of pinched off the defenders in accounting, but Molotovs are going out onto Vault. They've got 35 seconds and about 18-ish seconds of time-wasting utility in the Vault. As Index can drop Plepto in the Vault as another Molotov goes out there. They have taken control of security. Argo is in a little bit of a pinch, but he's still got that Molotov. Sachi is going to get dropped by Nog. Akazo firing random shots through into security. Another Molotov is out. It's just up to Argo. 15 seconds left. They got to get in there immediately for the
Muse coming for a
defuse.
flank.
Index! He may have just made it, but he has to deal with
Oh,
Muse. So
wow.
Muse, with that late flank, is
Hmm.
able to secure the first win for GB, and that was as if that is a good first round to say how close this is going to be.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems there were so many trades back and forth. It really could have gone either direction. That Kazo holding that loans, getting that damage, an early pick. I think that was a great start to the round for them. It was really smart positioning, and Muse not playing super aggressive, not getting picked off, and being able to get the win for them
The
at the end of the
Molotov
round.
goes out there.
Very
They've
smart.
taken control of security. Argo
He-
is in a little bit of a
And
pinch,
that's
but
always
he's still
dangerous
got
with
that
those,
Molotov.
like,
Sachi
late
is going to get dropped
roams
by
is
Nog.
it's
Kazo
either you're leaving
firing
your team
random
completely
shots
exposed
through
and they
into
all die
security.
and you're
Another
nowhere
Molotov
close,
is out. It's
or
just up to
your
Argo.
team is able to hold that
15
just
seconds
long
left. They got to
enough
get in there
that
immediately
when
for the
Muse
get
coming from the
theirs.
flank.
like, you know, it's your time to shine.
He may
You
have
know,
just
you've
made it,
been working on this
but he has
for
to.
for
Deal with Muse.
minutes, and now finally you get to
So
get the
Muse
win
with
there.
that-
But
Hmm.
we're gonna go into Kill House now.
Yeah, and a lot of times
Eh,
what happens with those late roams is either your team gets picked off and you're in like a 1v2, 1v3, a difficult situation, or your team kills all the enemies and then you didn't really do anything for the round. You're trying just to safeguard. So it's gonna be risky. But now we're on the kill house. We could
And
anticipate a green push.
it looks like it. I mean, green is always good in. Well, I would say if there's a reception in Kill House, like it 9 times out of 10, reception isn't a bad idea. Same with like going beach on Kill Dome. Like those kind of non-explosive entries are usually like always okay to go. I don't think I've ever seen a beach where you're like, ugh, don't. Well, there's one. Where it like doesn't connect with the rest of the map. But like if it opens up into the main map, it's like you might as well go beach. Saber there. Same with reception. It's okay to go there, but it seems that Global Breakout is ready to deal with reception as well as Gnomes prepping for. Hey, they're probably going to be aggressive on us here. Let's make sure we're quick because both these teams are aggressive. It's which team can be more aggressive, which team can see the aggressors coming before them.
Yeah. They're both confident in their skill. They know they can win gunfights. They know how much skill they have, and they are gonna play it aggressively. It's just the style these teams have. Kaza with the early peak.
And shots are going to exchange out as Akazo and Plebdo in a crossfire of long AKs. Damages going out onto Index and Scooge. Akazo and Plebdo kind of barely getting tapped as more chipping on health on the Gnomes. The 6 takes some damage. Still caught in a crossfire. The Gnomes are kind of stuck here. They got to keep pushing forward. And finally, they push forward onto Plebdo as 6 is able to drop Plebdo. Sachi kind of backing off into lockers here, calling for Muse for support as shots go through. Not connecting. But now the defense have repositioned over back onto lockers with Gnomes prepping to push in. And we're seeing both teams stall out with fire exchanging through as the wall charge goes off. Muse very low. Sachi almost caught in the crossfire. Argo caught between 2 Molotovs and the auto shot here, waiting for the Molotovs to dissipate.
Argo's
What
gonna
is it
push.
that they do? Argo gets caught in the
Shot in the
crossfire by
back.
Muse. Oh no, the flashbangs go out as the Gnomes rush in. Akazo drops, Sachi drops, and that is it. Lockers secured. Bomb going to be defused after they do some looting.
Yeah, for a bit they were trapped in a deadlock. All the attackers were in office and all the defenders were in lockers. One in hall, but generally all in bomb. And it was just that one section. Using that wall charge really cleared that up for them. If they had to funnel through that door, I'm sure they would have been mollied and killed. That wall charge was a very smart play.
Wall charge definitely like alleviated a lot of that pain for being trapped in office right there. So yeah, I 100% agree. But Argo got too aggressive, as you saw, as Muse was opening fire to once the molly dissipated. I think there's a miscommunication where Muse was going to just hold down the angle with gunfire, and Argo was like, "No worries, boys, I've got this," and he just ran into his buddy's crosshairs. So kind of just a miscommunication. But a really good deal. I was getting scared that Gnomes were going to stall out, and the constricting snake that is Global Breakout were going to constrict onto our little gnome friends, and they would be snuffed out. But no, they held strong and were able to, like that wall charge, man. That was a really smart play.
Yeah. It really sealed the round for them.
We're
Oh,
on
so
Kill
going
Dome.
for
My favorite tile set. I don't know if it's
a
yours.
beach
It
push.
probably isn't.
No, I think my favorite's probably Kill House. I'd really love Kill House. It's my favorite map. But yeah, Dome or Beach Push. It's pretty common for Dome. Dome and Kill House, I feel like have the best green doors out of any of the maps. They are generally easy to clear and pretty safe from attackers, unless they want to get super aggressive. So.
We kind of saw that when we kind of briefly talked about it last round, where the safeness of reception, where they kind of have to come into your line of sight to get you, and the same here with Beach. You can kind of get onto the bottom of Beach without getting shot at, with well-positioned smokes. You know, you've got that little sand dune here that kind of
Mhm.
protects you on the right side. But once you get up though, Perch is kind of a trap. You do have to kind of cross over into a crossfire, so you have to be paying attention for anyone up over here in Perch. Um, but this is where the wall charge could have been useful here. You
Mhm.
could have gotten the wall charge and gone straight on to bomb site. But of course, you don't know the map
Yeah.
going into it, so this is an advantage Gnomes may have going into next round, seeing that they may want to save the wall charge for this.
Yep. Yeah, they can plan ahead now that they know what the maps are going to look like. It'll be interesting to see how the uh how GB plays differently on these new maps accordingly.
And we're gonna see if GB can recover from that little blunder the Gnomes gave them there. A nice little black eye that they've got there, courtesy of the Gnomes. So we'll see if they can bounce back here, make it a 2-1, or if Gnomes will take the lead here. As a nice slow push onto beach, quickly just kind of looking around, looking through the little peek holes, making sure no one's there. But Akazo is holding back with a mop, and he is going to connect on the six-sided with a arm shot, but it's not going to matter as Argo and Plebdo set up in the crossfire. Scooge looks away at the last second there and is gunned down by Plebdo with a knack. This crossfire becoming even more deadly. His index drops. It's all up to Nog, and it is not... no damage has even been exchanged onto GB, but as I say that, Argo takes some damage and drops to 2 HP. But a flawless round for GB.
Wow. Impressive aggressiveness. That's what I want to call that. They won their gunfights. It's surprising. I don't know if they just didn't use enough flashes clearing out beach. They didn't expect to have to use those. Didn't expect rats in base, but it was their downfall. They got pincered with the close angle by Plebdo down at base and the long angle with Argo. So that's just unlucky, I guess.
If there's something we've seen in these playsets today, it's that there's most likely always someone ratting close by. But I mean, we're seeing right now on the replay. So Akazo like basically hits an arm shot, is finished off by Argo, but then Plebdo just immediately just goes into full Rambo with the knack and just eliminates everybody. Nog trying to at least clear the perch, but is unable to, and just the Gnomes tried to be aggressive in their push, but just got counter aggroed by GB on their defense. And that's where you can kind of see the brutality of both teams. Of one team may look super strong, but then they go into the next round and now it's flipped. It's completely flipped. And now, well, GB looks strong and we may see a flip here. But let's just see what GB wants to do on here. We'll see if they do the same thing or if they do something different. It looks like they want to do a door and wall charge, so they want to bring the wall charge for this map. Once again, we don't know if it's going to be like just for the giggles, because then that leaves them not having that wall charge on the last map, as we kind of suggested, or on the kill house where we saw the gnomes kind of get out of a choke point by doing that.
Yeah, really, all three of these maps could really utilize a wall charge effectively. On this map, you can get to Vault, not worry about security, or you can get to Button. On the next map, you could get into Site more easily from Office or from Hall. And on Dome, you can get into Bomb or into Lights from Beach. So all three of these maps, it really depends on where they want to use the charge, and if they're confident that they can win their next few rounds without it.
It it's global breakout, so I'm gonna say they probably feel pretty confident. So let's see if the Gnomes can shut down that confidence, if they're able to counteract. But Six is going to be playing Inteller with the Mob, but it is immediately negated by a pretty good smoke to counteract that, and they are just going to prep to go straight for security, as they are going to have the wall charge prepped up. It is going to be used. It's 2 charges going to be down, and they're just going to wait and kind of figure out where everyone's pushed through. They're going to run on in, smoke that off so they can't even get refragged. Molotov goes out, so the button is secured for about 8 seconds. The Molotov goes out, shots go out. Sachi is going to be the first to fall by Control Alt Elite, but he is going to be traded by a Kazo. Molotovs go out in security. Argo kind of stuck at the turntable of the door there as Index is going to run in. Is put down by Muse. Nog is also traded as well. Scooge tries to get the flank, but is unable to. It's all up to Six with the Mop, but he is probably going to try and hide with the Mop, and he is unfortunately not going to find his mark, and Muse will drop, and Plebdo gets a nice little birthday gift of the Mop.
Yeah, I feel like Gnomes wasn't expecting them to use the wall charge there, so they were expecting to have a choke point down at the bottom hall, and they positioned for that. But then when that didn't happen, they didn't have good positions. You know, if they're gonna use that wall charge, you need to be positioned for vault more. It's not very easy to defend that. They mollied it, they still got button anyway. So, you know, they did what they could.
I'm sad. I'm really sad because it just kind of seemed like whatever Gnomes was going to do to counter it, Global Breakout just went smoke. Oh, we're gonna smoke. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna pull back to loans and shoot smoke. Uh-oh. And then they couldn't even go in and push through for the button because they threw a Molotov trying to stop them, but they'd already hit the button. So their own Molotov stalled them out as well, and you just saw it slowly unraveling for the Gnomes that round, and it was really unfortunate because it was just like you're watching, like, oh no, oh no, somebody stop them, please, somebody. And it was just really unfortunate here, but once again, we're seeing on this Kill House map the aggressiveness of Global Breakout. They just want to use the door charge on green, so they're going to be opting to go full reception push, which means last map, on Kill Dome, they'll be forced to go beach. Which could set up an interesting defense on that round by the Gnomes if they just all prep for beach, unless GB is willing to be like, if we win this round, we can kind of throw the next round, because then it'll be 4-2, and that's okay. But they're going to opt to use the door charge here as basically a grenade, which I know for newer players, it may seem like weird. It's like, that's a green door, why are you using a door charge there? But if you're 100% confident that all the red doors don't look, appealing, like there's no point, it's okay to use the door charge as like the grenade to clear that barbed wire. So keep that in mind. It's okay to do that. It's not like taboo. It's not like, the top 10 tricks of due process. It's like, it's okay. You're not bad for doing it.
There are only 2 ways to destroy barb, and that's charges and nades. You only get 2 nades, you have 3 rounds, so you gotta expect there's gonna be some hiccup somewhere with barbed wire you have to destroy. So using a wall charge or a door charge or wall charge somewhere to find a new access to site, it's inevitable. And that's part of the reason why wall charge is so valuable, because you can clear a new path and subvert, the pre-existing, paths that are drawn up with the barbed wires and nades and mollies that are going to be choke points.
We're going to see some shots come out here. Just a lot of scariness as Scooge is getting very close to getting shot, but he is trying his best to get to be aggressive with this auto shotty here. As shots go out, and Nog takes a little bit of damage, same as Six, but nothing on Global Breakout side. As Index is kind of tagged quite a bit there. Sachi is going to get tagged. Scooge is coming out. This is his time to shine, but he will only get Sachi. But they were both trade, actually, which is unfortunate, but it is a 1-for-1 Index drop by Plebdo through the wall as the door charge goes off and the grenade goes out. The Molotov does not connect with the door. It's going to get stuck on the lockers as Plebdo full on in there on six-sided Nog, stuck between all the members of Global Breakout here. His Control is the last alive, and he is going to be put down by Argo with the auto shotty.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they kept on going office when there was so much resistance. They grinned and bared it. I thought they would have rotated Breakout, so I was even gonna ask if you thought they were going to, but they just soldiered through, got into sight, placed the charge, and that Molly missed, which definitely didn't help.
I think if the Molly had connected, it would have bought them some more time. Hard to say if the round would have gone a different way, but it would have definitely have bought enough time to get some maybe more shots to the wall to chip them down. But Scooge dying, like at least he got a 1-for-1, so that's okay. But you gave the auto shotty to, Argo, who is pretty good at using the auto shotty in an aggressive situation. And when you're the attacker with the auto shotty, that's kind of the whole point, is to be like aggressive with this thing. Just run on in and do what you can do. You're going to get a kill if you shove it in their face.
Mhm.
But kill them, we know they have to go green. Does Gnomes accommodate for that? Will they set up to just throw Molotovs into the landing craft, or will they play back and kind of do what Global Breakout did? Will they have someone in perch? Will they have people in ops? Will they just have people in pit? Will they just kind of let them have base? Like, a lot
Mhm.
of things to consider that they may do. Um, Obviously, if I was Gnomes, I would maybe have someone near base, wait for the kick, and then chuck a molly over just to maybe stall them, maybe get a lucky kill or some damage off, and then get out of there. And then have your usual stalls, your barbed wires, and maybe someone in perch to get the crossfire. But you're gonna have the Saber in play, most likely on Plebdo, because Akazo has the Ingmar, or he'll swap to the Saber and then Plebdo will pick up the Ingmar. But that's exactly what has happened. Akazo is going to be on the Saber, which means deadly precision.
Mhm.
Kazo is probably one of the best snipers in due process. I say probably, but most likely is. Um, so having him on that is scary, to say the least, for gnomes.
Mhm. It's kind of interesting how the attackers have both the snipers, and they're going beach. It's interesting how that worked out like that. You wouldn't really expect to see that, but it's working in their favor. At least before the round has even begun, it looks like DB might have an advantage in this round.
Times I've seen both snipers brought on Killdome, the team that has both snipers wins, but it's usually the defense that somehow steals them. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays on the attacking side as a shot rings out and Six immediately regrets his life choices and runs back. As smokes go out near base, Control just probably giving some callouts here as he's looking from the safety of observation as Six is going to be dropped by Plepto. And now Argo and Akazo with the snipers. As Plepto is just in jungle with no resistance until he's finally put down after killing Scooge. It is now a 2v2 on that side of the map as Sachi goes down to Index and Nog. Control is going to Molotov himself as now observation is being pushed. Akazo will drop for his crimes against the gnomes, as Index
2v2.
and Nog are in a 2v2, but they are full health, and it doesn't matter. Muse is gonna drop to Index with the Ingmar. Two very low health, Nog and Index against a full health Argo on the mop. Now, if they understand he is the mop, they could just rush him. If he kills one with the mop, he has to reload, so they should coordinate this push.
Hmm. Yeah, if they push at the same time, I don't see this going well for Argo. But they have to coordinate this well. They have to have good comms. They have a Molly. Maybe they could use that. I don't know.
Fortunately, Argo's kind of looking more towards jungle side, so if Nog was able to peek and get a shot, and get it, yep, and get him to look the other way, now Argo knows he's between two people. The Molotov does go off because Argo looks the other way, but it's not going to connect in the way they want it to. They have to push through. Argo is still tapping away at it, 60%. He's going to drop Index. It's all up to Nog, 70, 80%, 90%, 95, Argo. He is going to LS 45. Nog and get the defused.
Yeah, that didn't work out quite as well as I expected that to go. They were just so low health, and that's what decided. Index got shot, and then Nog didn't really have an angle. Argo could long arm the bomb and wasn't able to get shot. And then it was a 1v1, and Argo had almost full health. Nog was low. I mean, we can do.
It was a very the Molotov just not being able to get it, but him being able to kind of, we'll say, cheese the side of the bomb and able to kind of defuse it. There are some things about bomb defusal I could go into and be like, well, that shouldn't be allowed. Um, you know, I kind of believe that you shouldn't be able to shoot and defuse, because if you have the right angle, you are able to do that, as well as kind of cheese way on the side for it. But you can do it right now, and that's all that matters. And he did it, and he did it good. He did it well. He was able to hold the Molotov missing. He was able to stay calm. I'd be panicking. He was able to stay calm, hit his shot, and hit all of his shots, and he was able to secure GB the 5-1. Remember how I said there wasn't going to be a blowout? I unfortunately did that thing that casters sometimes do, where they lie to make themselves look good and make themselves look smarter. So it turns out I'm still an idiot, and it's 5-1, and Global Breakout are not showing signs of slowing down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still on defense, Gnomes at least. So, they still have another 3 rounds of this. So if the last 3 rounds are an indicator of how the next 3 are gonna go, it's not looking good for them.
Hopefully they can kind of get the idea now. And that's kind of usually how ranked games go. You kind of play that first set, and you're like, okay, that's how they're attacking us. Okay, they're doing this stuff. That's a little different, but okay, we see this now. We see it. And we're going to adapt to that. So let's hope that, we got a lot of long range being brought out here. Scooge not picked a weapon yet. I think they're still deciding what he wants to bring, and he is going to bring the silenced Gruber, which is the best Gruber. Do not at me. And it seems like a full AP-25 Akazo sniping round. So they've got the door charge prepped for a... Is it the fan they're going to be wanting to go through? Yes, they're going to be wanting to go through the fan. As Sachi kicks the red door for good luck. They're going to get the fan open. And Plebdo is just doing what he does best. Just saying, hey, look at me. I'm in. And I'm going to shoot at you. Really good smoke. And it is not going to do anything, as it is just going to get index killed. Moose is going to be the first to drop on Global Breakout is fighting as they're just steamrolling their way in. Six has no idea what he needs to do as he's got the mop. He has to reload, but he is going to find Sachi. Nog finds Argo, and Plebdo is going to rush Six, still caught in his reload animation. Akazo and Plebdo got to find Nog, who's hiding behind Toxic. And they just gotta try and draw him out. They may know he's there as they... Oh, yep, as they throw the Molotov, and it is gonna cook him alive there, and I think Plebdo is he stuck?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's scared to move. That's alright, Akazo is gonna loot and find some things. Don't you worry, Plebdo. Daddy Akazo is here for you. He's got you. Oh, he's trying. He's really trying. Oh, he got me. Alright, yeah.
I don't know how he got on there. That's what I want to know.
I think he jumped on the railing and kind of jumped over. Oh my, stop it. Stop it, Pleb. I have anxiety. This is bad.
I hope he falls in.
It'll be a 6-1 lead. Global Breakout as Plebdo is just he doesn't care. He just, not like in a bad thing, right? I'm not saying like he doesn't care about the game or yada yada. Like, he knows there's danger and doesn't care. He's 10-4 right now. He's the only player with over 1,000 damage. He is just kicking in the green door and being like, all right, hi guys, I'm here. And just, Formula 1 race car driving straight on in there. It doesn't matter. And if he gets a pick, the craziness works. There is a method to his madness.
Yep. A lot of explosiveness from GB. They're aggressive and they're explosive. And those are the 2 traits that won him that round. They were able to blitzkrieg through that fan, and then they just rushed the defenders, and they couldn't do anything about it. They didn't have mollies prepped. At least I didn't see any. So they just got through.
The models they had were, as you saw, used against them.
Mhm.
So it was very unfortunate, but this is Gnome's last chance to hang on and force a tie. They have to fight back for 5 more rounds to bring that back to a tie. GB just have to play it casually and get that one more round, and it'll be a 7-1. And I will be once again tarnished as a traitor for eons to come.
Yeah. Now,
So
in my experience, this is when Gnomes is gonna start winning, and this is gonna be a comeback. At least that's what I hope for. So that would be interesting.
yeah, I mean, the last time the Gnomes put GB in this situation, it was a 6-0, and GB came back to win, or tie, sorry, 6-6. And they forced another match, which was the last major, was when Gnomes won in double overtime. And it was, I think it was I don't know if it was the first double overtime, but it was the first double overtime since I've been here. And it was, it was crazy. Like the explosiveness of both teams clawing at each other, like trying to get that win. Like seeing that from both teams is like just serotonin straight into the bloodstream, just like it's close, it's great due process, and oh man, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. So
Yeah, it's
we're
exciting to watch.
we're
Looks like
gonna go in onto this convenience store, and it seems like they just want to take the wall charge and just go for it.
seems like they want to play for long angles. They're playing for a long angle through freezer, through storefront, into the top left of storefront towards lights, and another one from bottom left storefront all up to fridges.
Well, they
So
got both snipers.
they do.
Shots are going to extend, but Scooch is actually going to be able to pick up Argo there. And Kazo will drop to control, but will be traded by Plebdo with a swift mop shot to the chest. As Nog is able to refrag Sachi in a nice 1v1 gunfight here. Now it's up to Plebdo and moves for global breakout. A grenade goes off in bathroom. Index hiding in there. 6 in fridges. Nog still playing in arcade. Moose trying to get out of freezer with the shotgun. He has to take his fights close, but he knows that Plebdo's going to be covering him for arcade. Muse opts to hang out in freezer a bit. He may decide to swap guns or stick with the shotgun. What are you going to do, Muse? Give me a sign. Well, that's a good sign. He rushes in and kills 6, but is ultimately caught in the crossfire between Index and Nog from arcade and bathroom. And Index is going to swap out with the AK. Plebdo swapped up for the Saber, is going to try and push arcade. He is going to find Nog. Plebdo is very low. Index can draw this out. He can just rotate to freezer, maybe get an angle on him in freezer, but Plebdo, I think, is waiting for him to do that. He's looking at him from fridges. He knows he's going to be coming over from fridge side. Trying to get some shots off. Goes back for the bomb defusal. Index getting a little nervous. Plebdo getting nervous. A lot of nerves. Bomb defusal going off. It's at 70%. 3 more seconds, Index. You got to do something here, and he is going to do that.
Wow.
The Gnomes hang on for another round.
Yep, tricky situation. You can either tap the fuse over and over and over and try to see if you can hold that angle, or you can push the defender and try to win that 1v1 and then defuse. But either way, it's not an easy situation to be in.
And you saw Pleb do that on arcade, where he was like, I have to do this. And he pushes arcade, he forces the fight, and he's able to win that fight, but he is very low to where he can't really do it again unless he just gets the immediate headshot, so he tries to play it around the bomb. But now we see some damage upgrades, and Argo crossing the 1,000 border, Nog on the 1,000 border, with the most damage in the game on the Gnome side, on Nog, sitting at 1219. He picked up 252 damage that last round.
Yeah.
That's the most in that entire round that was done there. So good job, Nog, setting up the team there to kind of get that damage off. But we're gonna go to bank yet again, but a different one, different bank. This one's just down the road. And the attackers deciding they don't want anything to do with the left side of the map. That side, not good real estate. The right side of the map, that's good. That's where the button is, it's where the vault is. But it is a lobby vault. So you got that pressure from Teller. You're gonna have pressure from security. You're gonna have pressure from pretty much everywhere. The question is, do they put someone in vault? Do they just do a button hold? Because it's in accounting, it is close range. A button hold isn't a bad idea. What would you do, Mr. Don?
Yeah, I would definitely do the same thing. I would abandon Hall, abandon Loons, maybe put someone security, but definitely hold accounting lobby. That kind of split is where both button and vault is. So I'd be playing for a manager push or lobby push, and then just holding everything else. Yeah.
Way they're able to kind of, if they need to, they can swing around and either do a retake. But it seems like they're gonna do a nice little button hold here. I like the little noise changes they added. That was a recent update where they added the kind of the clear audio cue that someone is using security door and the vault being opened, and some nice little quality of life stuff.
I've only
Especially
heard
to help new
positive
players.
things about it. I haven't heard anyone who's been upset about those changes.
Yeah. Uh-oh, index. Oh, there you go. All right. A little worried for you there, buddy. I doubt someone would be truly mad of, now every time I go through security, it makes a noise. I can't cheese this anymore. I think that's where most anger comes from. People that, like, when a cheese gets fixed, it's like, well, if you're cheesing to get a win, then that questions, skill, I guess.
Kick security. They're gonna be applying pressure. Index falls out. We're gonna hold security. Index gets picked to the baggage claim. Looks like Scoo just gonna try to hold that baggage.
Plundo!
Getting pushed in teller. Control's gonna fall back. There's the hold. Accounting and lobby. Two attackers in teller. They've all fallen back to accounting. I'll go fix one. Doesn't get refragged yet. 2v1. I'll fix one. And gets taken up by Argo.
That's unfortunate, man. I believe Scooch was flashed, so he couldn't assist control there. If he was, I think he was flashed. If he wasn't flashed, then a little questionable, but that's going to be it for Global Breakout as they secure the 7-2. Gnomes unable to hang on as a very dominant Global Breakout. This is your typical Global Breakout where their aggressiveness was rewarded, and the only time it was punished was when the Gnomes kind of just were able to counteract that aggressiveness. But for those 2 rounds that they were able to, great job. But the other ones, they just couldn't find footing. Like, most of the pushes that Global Breakout did were incredibly aggressive and almost just virtually unanswered. And that's kind of unfortunate because we saw on those 2 rounds that they were able to answer. The Gnomes were able to answer, and those were the Gnomes we saw on those very close games that we saw last major. And now we saw a Gnomes team that kind of struggled a little bit, where Molotovs weren't connecting and shots, their trades weren't as good, and they weren't really expecting this level of aggressiveness. They weren't really, I guess, ready to handle Global Breakout just yet. So, which, it's unfortunate, but I'm hoping that because of this, they kind of watch back, realize, hey, we were just kind of tired, or we kind of, missed a molly by a pixel. Like, we're gonna practice that, right? It'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be fine for the next match. No worries. Just a bad match, and that happens. It's okay. It's okay to have a bad match, and it happens. Even the professionals are not perfect. So,
And something to note, while the outcome was 7-2, most of these rounds weren't a wash. They were
very
very
close.
close. Very, very close. So it was definitely a good matchup. Good match to watch.
I mean, you see the damage across all the players where it's pretty even on each member of the team. Obviously, Global Breakout just edging a little bit, but like each player, like their top, kind of matches each top. Same for the second, third. They all in that, upper 500 to 1300, where they all did their damage. They all did their part. There's assists going out on both sides, kills going out, and just note. I don't think there was a bad team today. Like, yes, as you said perfectly, it wasn't a wash. Each round was close, where it was someone like they were either low or there was one left standing. Like especially that first round where it was they got to the defuse with the 10 seconds left, but Muse was there to barely win it to
Mhm.
stop the defuse. So like incredibly close.
Yeah, most of his
So
rounds were decided by 1 or 2 mistakes, and if those mistakes hadn't happened, the round outcome would have been flipped.
for sure, but I believe that is it for us today. I don't believe there are any more matches today. I believe we were the last, so we got to send everyone off with a bang. Global Breakout and Gnomes. Global Breakout 7, Gnomes 2. I have been the man of the Melvin, and this has been Dom Boy. Thank you for entertaining our awkwardness. Anything else you want to say, Don? For you, first cast out of the way. You feeling good?
Yeah, I think it went okay. Definitely some things to improve on, but that comes with experience.
Just the second we cut, just throwing up just from all the nerves. Oh god! But that's gonna be it for us, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Once again, I'm Melvin. That's Don. We will see you guys in the next cast, which will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. That's my time. I don't know what it is for the rest of everybody else, but we'll see you then.
All right.